Bounty Hunters this morning. Wes Davis and Bobby Stoner. And Tommy from Smyrna. You're on AM 750 WSB. Hello there, Tommy. You with me? Not ready? Okay. Before we do that, let's have a special report, an update on the Persian Gulf War, and we'll bring Tommy from Smyrna on after that. War in the Gulf update. We go to the AM 750 WSB News Center. The time, 20 minutes after 11 o'clock. Saturday marked a number of demonstrations across America in support of U.S. troops. Mardi Gras revelers in New Orleans paid special tribute to the troops. There were also a number of anti-war demonstrations. This has been a live special report from AP Network News, Crisis in the Gulf. I'm Mike Moss, and this is the Associated Press Radio Network. AM 750 WSB monitors the war in the Gulf around the clock. We have periodic updates, and when things happen, we break in immediately. 11:22 with Eric Taylor. Sunday morning Atlanta. We're talking with Wes Davis and Bobby Stoner, bounty hunters. And there's no school you go to become a bounty hunter, and you're not certified. I guess there are some guys out there. Anyone who's a tough guy can say he's a bounty hunter, but he doesn't know his stuff.
That is very true, and this is what gives us a bad name. I call them hot shots.
Hot shots. What do they do that's different and wrong?
Well, they go in with they want to be a bully attitude. They want to pull a gun. They want to whoop up on them, which is it's not a very good technical situation for us because we depend on our intelligence. We go by the law, and you can't do that with people. You got to treat people like human beings.
You were mentioning you kind of ease into it when you finally do deal with the suspect. You don't want to make him or her feel like a cornered rat.
You don't want him to get excited or overactive. You want to go in there and smooth things out, go in there and put the cuffs on and get out as quick as possible, especially if you got a family involved or a lot of people in a room.
Would they gang up on you?
Oh, very definitely. You'd be surprised.
Now tell me a story where that has happened.
Well, I've been stabbed with scissors, and I've been hit. We've been in a lot of situations, and I've been shot with a shotgun. There's a lot of different situations.
Have you considered another line of work?
I like what I do, and I'm good at what I do.
872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. If you have a question or a comment here for Wes Davis and Bobby Stoner. Their company is United States Fugitive Apprehension Bounty Service. Wes, you were mentioning that there's a sort of golden rule of bounty hunting and that you don't go in and treat people as though, hey, you're scum.
Well, you don't do that. We treat each individual person that we talk with or have to chase down for any purpose like they are a human being, as long as they will allow us to treat them that way. Now, if they become violent, then we have to become violent too. And it's not something we want to do, it's because we have to.
Michael from Roswell, you're on AM 750 WSB. Hi there, you're on the air.
Hi, I'd like to talk about my dad.
You'd like to talk about your dad?
Well, he's a bounty hunter.
He is.
And he got this guy last week.
He got him up? Michael, I don't know if he was listening to the radio or got confused there or what. If you want to call back, continue the story, you're welcome to. How did you start doing this work, guys?
Well, my father was a bounty hunter.
It's in the family.
In the early 60s. And he was one of the best, as far as I'm concerned. And I've learned from him a great deal, and I've learned from a lot of other people.
Did he encourage you, or did he say, Wes, work in a grocery store, anything but this?
Well, no, he didn't encourage me. But, like I say, he was one of the best at his time that there was. And I've learned a lot from him and a lot of other people I've worked with.
It's a hard laboratory to be out there. You're in the real world with dangerous people having to learn how to deal with them. And there's no real handbook for it, is there?
Well, no, it's a self-taught.
Bobby, how did you get into it?
Well, I was a private investigator for 15 years, and I was a deputy sheriff in Florida for 5. I met Wes about 3 or 4 years ago, and we got into it, and I've been at it ever since.
872-0750 or 1-800-WSB-TALK. What do people not understand about the way people are when they're on the run?
A person on the run is more dangerous. It depends on if it's a felony or a misdemeanor and type of charge he's under.
I imagine a felon is going to be much more determined about getting away and being careful about it.
He most certainly is, or she. It depends on the individual, and if they're on dope or whatever, it depends on what their activity are. Any person, it's just like a cat gets pinned up, they will fight you.
As you try to zero in on somebody, is it tough? Are they sometimes just one step ahead of you and you have to keep going and going?
One step.
Always.
One step always. One
Always.
step ahead of it.
How long does it take?
Sometimes a month, sometimes a week, sometimes 1 day, sometimes a year.
Well, it must be you have to wear them down.
You do. We had one case where we tracked a guy for 7 months. In the 7-month period that we tracked him, he moved 4 times and continued to move and move and move, and his family, friends, and everybody else lying for him, but we found him.
And he knew you were on his tail. He was
Right.
trying to stay a step
When we
ahead.
found him hid in the closet.
Hiding in the closet.
Right.
Was he cooperative?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's not exactly an aggressive posture, hide in the closet, unless you're in there with a 9mm semi-automatic.
Well, he knew better.
Yeah. Do you find they're handling heavier weaponry than they used to, and is that a concern?
Oh, yeah.
They've got a lot. I mean, that's why all your local sheriff departments and your city police are going to 9mm. A 6-shooter, forget about it. It's good for a backup. A man would be crazy to get out in the street today with just a 6-shooter.
Wes Davis and Bobby Stoner are here this morning at the United States Fugitive Apprehension Bounty Service. They're out there chasing the bad guys, but actually I have to say they're not proven to be bad guys in many cases. They're just people who haven't shown up in court. They may be innocent.
Well, as far as we know, they are innocent. Because
Presumed so, until proven guilty.
Right. The only thing that they're guilty of is failure to appear on their particular case.
Of course,
because,
if they were innocent, they wouldn't be running away.
well,
Or
that's
would they?
true, but then we don't know that they're guilty because they haven't been to court. If you don't go to court, how do you know?
You're not judge and jury. It's just your job to bring them in. More with Wes Davis and Bobby Stoner coming up on Sunday Morning Atlanta at AM 750 WSB.
When it comes to traffic reports, FM means